Good morning. It has been a long morning. And I want to say, first of all, thank you to all the emergency personnel that have worked through the night and their courage and their calm determination to make our city safe and to arrest anybody that did us harm. I also want to thank the county, Judge Jenkins. I want to thank the FBI. I want to thank the governor. Lieutenant Governor flew in last night. The president called me from Poland, and all your commentators have wished us well and are praying for us. And I want to say from our heart, we feel that, and so thank you. I am now going to tell you some not good news for you reporters, and that is we've got a criminal investigation going on, and our #1 job is to make sure the citizens of Dallas are safe. So we're not going to tell you anything about the suspects, and we're not going to answer any questions on that. We will when it's the right time. Now's not the right time. But a lot has happened in the last 5 or 6, 7 hours since we talked. I guess it was early in the morning. And I want Chief Brown to give you an update on that. I'm proud of him. He's been working so hard these last few hours. We've been with families, and we've been trying to make sure that the city is safe this morning, and I believe it is. Chief Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. We're hurting. Our profession is hurting. Dallas officers are hurting. We are heartbroken. There are no words to describe the atrocity that occurred to our city. All I know is that this must stop, this divisiveness between our police and our citizens. To update you on what's transpired since we last spoke, let me walk through the standoff that had occurred, or that was occurring at El Centro on the 2nd floor, the college there in downtown Dallas. We cornered one suspect, and we tried to negotiate for several hours. Negotiations broke down. We had an exchange of gunfire with the suspect. We saw no other option but to use our bomb robot and place a device on its extension for it to detonate where the suspect was. Other options would have exposed our officers to grave danger. The suspect is deceased as a result of detonating the bomb. The reporting that the suspect killed himself is not accurate. We've confirmed that he's been deceased because of the detonation of the bomb. Our hostage negotiator did an exceptional job getting this suspect to talk before he died during the hours of negotiating that eventually broke down. And I want to share with you some of the comments from this suspect. The suspect said he was upset about Black Lives Matter. He said he was upset about the recent police shootings. The suspect said he was upset at white people. The suspect stated he wanted to kill white people, especially white officers. The suspect stated that we will eventually find the IEDs. The suspect stated he was not affiliated with any groups, and he stated that he did this alone. The suspect said other things that are part of this investigation so that we can make sure that everyone associated with this tragic event is brought to justice. So as the mayor said, we won't expand on any further on what other suspects we have interviewed or looked at or their status until we get further into this investigation and get closer to a conclusion of what and who are all involved. But let me just say just some closing comments about Dallas police officers and Dart police officers. Some of the bravest men and women you'd ever want to be associated with. You see video footage after video footage of them running toward gunfire from an elevated position with no chance to protect themselves and to put themselves in harm's way to make sure citizens can get to a place of security. So please join me in applauding these brave men and women who do this job under great scrutiny, under great vulnerability, who literally risk their lives to protect our democracy. We don't feel much support most days. Let's not make today most days. Please, we need your support to be able to protect you from men like these who carried out this tragic, tragic event. Pray for these families. I spoke with the families of the deceased and the injured. They are not having a good time trying to absorb this, trying to understand why. And they need your prayers. So please join us in helping us comfort the grieving officers' families. And I trust that soon, because we're working very diligently in processing the crime scene, to find evidence to bring any other suspects to justice that were a part of this. But please pray for our strength through this trying time. Thank you.
I want to add that there are public safety officials that protect our cities and our institutions all across America every day that aren't police officers. And we lost one of those last night. A DART officer was one of the victims. And I want to just take a moment and say the professionalism of the DART organization was great. And I appreciate better school police officers, campus college police officers, standing shoulder to shoulder with our police officers. And that's the way we work. Now, Chief Brown told the victims' families last night and the police officers that he was a man of faith, and I'm a man of faith too, and that we need prayers, and prayer is good. So today at 12 o'clock at Thanksgiving Square, a leadership group of interfaith ministers will be leading us in that prayer. I would ask that if you're at your home or at your office or at your school to join us today at noon in that spirit of prayer, to bring our city together and our country together, to heal wounds, not create them. Thank you. Any questions that were not off limit? Yeah.
The injured officers have, most of them have been released. There are some that will need follow-up. I'm not going to go into the detail of what types of injuries. Their families are being very private for obvious reasons right now. But again, excuse me, what's the question? I'm sorry.
Critical.
Yes, they're doing better. Some have been released. Some of their statuses, they're still needing more treatment, but they're being very private about any further details about their health.
Chief, you have worked, and your department has worked with the community to have good relations. Can you speak to that and to the fact that something like this, could happen?
So we have to be right 100% of the time in the way we police this city. Suspects like this have to be right once. They don't have to work very hard to do cowardly acts like this, to snipe at our officers from elevated positions and to ambush them from secreted positions around corners. All that hard work is not for naught. This city has shown great support for this police department. This mayor and council and city manager's office have supported this department and these officers, and we expect that to continue. And this community, I'm born and raised here. Dallas is a great city. Our officers will continue to put themselves in harm's way to protect these great citizens. So it's worthwhile.
I want to brag just for a second for if anybody hasn't heard us say this. This police department trained in de-escalation far before cities across America did it. We are one of the premier community policing cities in the country. And this year, we have the fewest police officer-related shootings than any large city in America. So we are working hard to improve, and there's always room for improvement. But we are best in class, we feel.
No, I'm not going to be satisfied until we've turned over every stone. We've got some level that this one suspect did do some of the shooting, but we're not satisfied that we've exhausted every lead. And we're not going to be satisfied until every lead is exhausted. So if there's someone out there that was associated with this, we will find you, and we will prosecute you, and we will bring you to justice.
As of right now, it's a total of 4 suspects?
We're not counting or expanding on who or how many. We're going to keep these suspects guessing.
Chief, can you talk about I know your first focus right now is on the officers and the investigation, but can you or the mayor talk about the impact this will have on the way protests and demonstrations are conducted in the city of Dallas?
Well, I'm going to let Chief Brown make any strategic decisions. But I think it's important for citizens to realize that we want to give everybody their freedom of speech. We've been through several protests in the last 5 or 6 years, and they've all gone in a safe manner. But the chief makes decisions at times that people could be critical of. Do you escalate it too much? Do you put too much body armor on? If we're all being critical of those things, just think about today. this is what you're risking if you don't do it right. And so from a policy standpoint, we believe in the right to protest peacefully, and these were peaceful protests till this happened. But we also have to believe in keeping our police officers safe. And I know I'm going to redouble my efforts on that.
Chief, so how does this change temporarily or permanently the way police officers will arm themselves and protect themselves in the street?
Again, I just want to expand on the mayor's comments. Police officers are guardians of this great democracy, the freedom to protest, the freedom of speech, the freedom for expression. All freedoms we fight for with our lives. It's what makes us who we are as Americans. And so we risk our lives for those rights. And so we won't militarize our policing standards, but we will do it in a much safer way every time, like we chose to do it this time. We had an adequate amount of officers at this scene, and we were blocking traffic and doing all the things to protect people's right to protest and their free speech. We are not going to let a coward who would ambush police officers change our democracy. We're not going to do it. Our city, our country is better than that.
And just as a follow-up, in terms of motivation, was there any talk of this being a direct response to the Louisiana and Minnesota shooting, or what else?
Can you say at all whether this is someone who was having some mental stability problems and just looking for an opening to react, or is this something more organized? Can you talk about that at all?
All of those questions would just be speculation to answer. We can't get into the head of a person that would do something like this. We negotiated with this person. They seemed lucid during the negotiation. He wanted to kill officers. And he expressed killing white people. He expressed killing white officers. He expressed anger for Black Lives Matter. None of that makes sense. None of that is a reason or legitimate reason to do harm to anyone. So the rest of it would just be speculating on what his motivations were. We just know what he said. That's what he said to our negotiators.
Hey guys, thank you. We still have a lot of work to do. We're gonna take off.